river, breathing in the smell. The stones are smooth and weathered, they wear the weather well. They wear the weather well. Sitting by the fire, warming up my bones. The sparks, they shine like glitter, like they were born to glow, like they were born to glow. Where do I go from here? And what do I learn from here? Digging in the garden, earth between my toes. The roots beneath the surface are deeper than they show. They're deeper than they show.
Good morning, everybody. So good to have everybody here today on this beautiful day. I'm Reverend Jay Lang, the spiritual director at our center here, the Napa Valley Center for Spiritual Living. So good to have everybody online as well as here in person. We'd like to begin with our music, and Astra is back with more music. It's always different, though.
Good morning. Welcome. All right, won't you sing with me? I am opening to the love of Spirit. I am opening to the love of God. I am opening to the love of Spirit. I am opening to the love of God. I let Spirit guide my day, living love in every way. I am opening to the joy of Spirit. I am opening to the joy of God. Really feel it. I am opening to the joy of Spirit. I am opening to the joy of God. I let Spirit guide my day, living joy in every way. Love, I am
Thank you, Astra. Thank you. I wish welcome everybody, especially if this happens to be your first time or first time in a while. We are an open and embracing community and so happy to have you here. We'll acknowledge you later in the service as a new guest, but for now, just sit back and enjoy our service. We like to begin our service with our vision and mission statement. So whether online or here at the center, you can look on the screen and read with me. We are an inclusive community for spiritual growth and compassionate action. And our mission statement, we are co-creating a world that works for everyone by living intentionally, loving unconditionally, and seeing God in all people and all faiths. A great affirmation for us today, and it also brings up the joy we've had this weekend on Friday night and Saturday. Friday night we had a Tibetan sound of healing, as they called it. It was a delightful evening. The room was pretty full, about 70 people. I'm here for this touring group of Tibetan musicians, and they had different kinds of instruments, and everybody was astounded by it. And many of the people had heard them when they were here over 20 years ago and came back to hear them again. So it was fun to be a part of that and very inspirational as well. And at the end, they gave me this, a little, shawl, and then also this banner, which means Om Mani Padme Hum. So it's beautiful. Which means God is with us, basically, isn't it? The peace of God?
I thought it was may all beings be free.
May all beings be free. There you go. Okay.
It's all goodness.
It's Sanskrit, so. And then yesterday we had Earth Day. We had a booth at the Earth Day, and I'll say more about that during my talk, but that was another full day, a really wonderful day also. So now that these events are complete, the only thing we are going downhill or uphill, if you want to call it, to Sip and Savor, which is on May 4th. Exciting that we are able to celebrate compassion in those ways. I'll tell you, this year we had so many wonderful applicants for our Compassion Awards. It was a difficult decision to make. So many people, part of this community and elsewhere, are making an incredible difference in just being who they are and opening up to Spirit, letting Spirit lead them, and creating. They're spreading compassion is what they're doing. They're spreading light. They're spreading love in so many ways. It was difficult to choose the people we did. But every year we go through this, and there will be more nominations next year. We'll be glad to take more nominations. But this year, our winners were Corey Edwards, who does a social media campaign for fire and police emergency information. A little bit out of the ordinary for what we usually award somebody, but he has done amazing things to give people warning so they can respond to crisis in a timely manner and not be caught up in behind the curve in terms of a crisis. So it's really, it's done amazing work. And then Denise Buell and Jim Warnock they co-founded the Napa County Suicide Prevention Council. They do a lot of work to educate people about both prevention of their own, dealing with their own mental health, as well as helping other people through their mental health crisis, and also support families who have lost somebody to suicide. So it's really powerful work they do. And we're so happy they're doing that in our work. And Pastor Jim is part of my Interfaith Council too, so it's great to have him. I know him well in that. And then Celicia Aguilar, who's the program director of the LGBTQ Connection. They've just stepped out more in the work they do, and what they're finding is more and more people are accepting that work. There's less resistance to it, and that people are celebrating all these events as we come closer to June when Pride Month is. And then finally, drum roll, Harrison Osboom, who we usually only give 3 awards, and this year we just had to do something special because of his lifetime achievement of so much service, not only as an educator, but working with so many different nonprofits to make a difference in people's lives, both individually and collectively. So we're giving Harris a Lifetime Achievement Award for his compassionate heart. So we're so excited about that. So this is the focus of the beginning of the Sip and Savor. We hope all of you can make it. We also have different kinds of activities and things for sale, wine to drink, that you get sips from several different wineries. We've got excellent food. Imelda Gomez is preparing this delicious food, and we'll have desserts and different things. And it'll just be a fun day, plus a silent and live auction. I do want to mention that if you are donating something to the silent auction, please get it in as soon as possible, because we are now cataloging and categorizing those things, and we appreciate you getting in as soon as so we can be organized and ready to go. And if you have anything that we haven't heard about, please call Mary or talk to somebody afterwards. And the other thing we need is volunteers. So one more slide there. That's the big whiteboard that's out there. So if you are going to be at the event and you just, the event lasts for 3 hours, if we can just have an hour of your time to do something, we would appreciate it. And the rest of the time you can be part of the event. Also invite your friends to buy tickets yourself. Wednesday is the last day for the early bird discount. After that, it goes to pre-event discount, which is less of a discount, still a discount, but not as much. So, so I encourage you to buy your tickets by Wednesday for that. Our meditation continues to be on Wednesday at 6 p.m. A growing number of people that are involved in that. We invite you to come to our open meditation. And now we'll begin the sacred part of our service.
You are a part of it, and I am a part of it. Magic happens everywhere. Take a breath, you'll find it there. You are a part of it, and I am a part of it. Magic happens everywhere. Take a breath, take a breath. Revolving tide, creating life. You are the one, I am the one. Evolving mind, healing life. You are the one, we are one. You are a part of it, and I am a part of it. Magic happens everywhere. Take a breath, you'll find it there. You are a part of it, and I am a part of it. Magic happens everywhere. Take a breath, take a breath. Revolving tide, creating life. You are the one, I am the one. Evolving mind, healing life. You are the one, we are one. You are a part of it, and I am a part of it. Magic happens everywhere. Take a breath, you'll find it there.
Taking that breath of life. knowing that the magic is constantly here, in and through each one of us, in and through all of life, this magic which is creating seemingly out of thin air. But it is that air, that breath, which is life. The magic of life, the magic of existence, the magic of beingness is constantly giving and giving and giving. This oneness, whether your heart calls it God, Allah, beloved, divinity, it is the same. This oneness, the grand I am, that is all we each are, made of this divine and blessed and wonderful good stuff. And as we come together today, we celebrate this. We remember the God and Goddess within each one of us, within ourselves. And as we celebrate that, we celebrate this world that we live on, the earth that gives us so much of life and enlivenment, this nature that we work with, live in, feeds us, and we feed it. We are in this reciprocal life with the planet. So knowing that we are the blessing, that we live on this blessing, in this blessing, it lives through us. I just claim that today is perfect. No matter how it seems or looks, it is as reality will have it. And so I claim this time as sacred. And knowing that we bring this life together and celebrate together, and we are in this blessed community together, I just claim it is good, it is good, it is good. And so it is. So good morning. I'm Georgia Davis, a licensed prayer practitioner here at the Napa Valley Center for Spiritual Living, and also a ministerial intern, finishing my last class this month, or in the last few months. Blessed to be a part of this community. Thank you for having me, and I will not be leaving after I graduate, just so you know. So, so today, just thinking about Earth Day. So do we only really celebrate Earth Day one day? No, it's every day, right? And I don't know about you, but because of this study and this belief that I have found and is a part of my life and my path right now, well, it is until whenever, whenever I'm done here, in life, in this body. One of the things that I've loved doing is practicing the idea of leaving where I've been better than the way I found it. And currently, I'm not walking as much as I used to, hiking as much as I used to, but one of the practices I used to love to participate in was that. How can I make where I've passed through more beautiful for my being there? And one of my favorites was picking up cigarette butts. It's gross. But I'll tell you, I was a smoker from like 16 to 22. And not that I was one of those smokers that left my cigarette butts everywhere. But, it takes, 50,000 years for cigarette butts to decompose? It's a long time. Wouldn't we rather have them in the dump? So every time when I would pick up the cigarette butts, I used to think, oh gosh, that's so gross. But I started blessing the person and saying, I bless that they will know their perfect wholeness and health. So no matter if they felt it, it transformed me for sure, and the actions that I take. And I loved doing that practice. I don't know if I ever told you the story about one time we left here. My mom and I were on Highway 12, just as it comes over the pass, and we saw someone's like recycling I think I did tell this story, but someone's recycling had just blown out all over the side. And my mom and I, was it Easter or something? I don't know. We were all dressed up. We were picking up all those bottles. They were all like all plastic bottles. And my son recycled them. But, you know, it felt so good. It felt so good to take all those bottles. And every time we drive by, we go, remember all those bottles we picked up there? And that, to me, is about honoring our planet and our earth and, you know, remembering how can I make it more beautiful for my existence here. So it can be planting a plant somewhere where someone unexpectedly finds it. It can be picking up garbage. It can be giving a smile to someone who didn't have one, you know. So it's like we have all these opportunities, you know. And I hope that you'll think of your own. And I have to find a new one because I've already told you those. So they have to be secret for me. Because then it's only a payoff for me, right? Like my internal light direction of, am I showing up the way I want to show up on the planet? So there's still work to be done for me. And I appreciate everyone here. Thank you for all your growing me up here in this community. And, you know, I just love you. You know that. And now we'll have a little more music from my friend Astra. And blessings to you all today.
Thank you, Georgia. They paved paradise, put up a parking lot with a pink hotel, a boutique, and a swinging hot spot. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. Shoo, bop, 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 bop. Sing it with me. Shoo, bop, 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 bop. They took all the trees, put them in a tree museum. And they charged the people $1.50 just to see 'em. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. Shoo, bop, 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 bop. Shoo, bop, 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 bop. Hey, farmer, farmer, put away that DDT now. Leave me spots on my apples, but leave me the birds and the bees. Please, don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. Shoo, bop, 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 bop. Shoo, bop, 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 bop. Late last night, I heard the screen door slam, and a big yellow taxi took away my old man. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. Shoo, bop, bop, bop. I said, don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. Shoo, bop, bop, bop. Yeah, they paved paradise, put up a parking lot. Oh yeah, steamrolled paradise and put up a parking lot.
I think they've heard that song before. And it's a perfect song for this being Earth Day. So thank you for doing that. Often we don't know, we're not grateful for it until it's gone, and then we're trying to get it back quickly. And it seems hard to do that. So thank you. Beautiful song today. This being Earth Day weekend, I guess technically not till tomorrow, but it seems like it's always this 20th through 22nd time. And what my motto is every day should be Earth Day, that we should do the practices of caring for our earth, gently caring for our earth, which is our message for today, and gently walking on this planet. So yesterday we did go to Earth Day. It's the first time as a center, we've had a booth there, and it was really quite fun to interact with people. I don't know if you can see it, but that I'm standing by the spinner, that was the big attraction. People were just drawn to it like a magnet coming there. But it was great to interact with people. We had information about our center and a lot of questions about that, but also about the environment, because we wanted to compare the environment with spirituality, which is a natural parallel, a natural integration. I'll talk more about that today. But I wanted to thank, in this picture, our Harris, and it's a glare there. Is that Jeannie in the back? Yeah. Jeannie, Jay, Johanna, and also Erica and Mark were there helping out, and Michelle Wilson. So we appreciate everybody helping out. And it was a great event. A lot of different booths there, probably about 100 booths, and it was a great celebration. So it was fun. It was a great day. It was a great day to celebrate the earth on that day. So as I mentioned, the title today is about gentle caring for our earth. And what I know about it, and Georgia was talking about that too. Oh, by the way, did you mention your graduation?
I didn't. I'm waiting for you to mention the graduation.
I'm going to mention graduation. So on June 8th, Saturday, June 8th, it's usually the second Saturday we have our graduation for School of Spiritual Leadership. And this year we only have one graduate, which is Georgia Davis. So it'll be here in our courtyard. Melissa and Z are going to be here with music. It'll be a fun event and celebrating the accomplishments of Georgia graduating as what time? I think it'll be 2 o'clock. That's usually when we have it. So mark that on your calendars, June 8th at 2 o'clock. So we'll be there to celebrate you, and we'll talk more about that as we come to do something as a community we can do to come together for that. But what Georgia was talking about this Earth Day, about it, this gentle caring. We gently walk on this earth, and what I know is that it's more an inner and outer engagement. This is not just recycling and composting and doing organic gardening, picking up trash, but it's also this inner work we do, this inner balance that we seek. As the earth itself is seeking balance, we seek balance within us so we can add to the balance that's on this planet. The new term that a lot of people are using is spiritual ecology. And what we know is some people think that the earth is a living being itself, that it is an organism that is alive. There's a name for it, Gaia. Some people call it Mother Earth or Mother Nature. But at the least, we believe that all life on this planet is one, and that includes the ecosystems and the geological and the water systems and all the minerals and animals and plants. It's all one because there's only one consciousness and it's connected. So anything that we do that affects one part of life on this planet affects all life on this planet. We know that the life on this planet is in stress right now, and the work we do, once again, is both inner and outer. So we experience stress. So we find our peace, our balance, our joy, our gratitude, and that helps the planet come back to restoration also. It's a delicate balance here, life on this planet. And you probably heard the phrase, don't mess with Mother Nature, right? And some indigenous cultures and some people believe that there's an entity, a Mother Nature, that gets angry when we mistreat it. Well, I don't really believe that, but I believe it is a balance that when life is out of balance, it seeks to find balance. And sometimes that can come in storms and weather systems that are extreme, droughts and floods and fires that are part of this climate change. It's not a global warming, it's a climate change. And so we're experiencing this. Now, the truth is, this planet that we are living on right now has gone through a number of changes, from ice ages and times of cooling, rising of water levels where there's less land. So I believe we're in a natural cycle of that happening. At the same time, and this differs from people to people, I know that, but the science I have seen suggests that what humans have done on this planet has accelerated this climate change. And there's concerns about that it may be irreversible. But I believe that we can at least slow down this acceleration by the way we live, and give us time to catch up. And what I mean by that is that Charles Darwin, when he did his theory on evolution, a lot of people think he talked about the survival of the fittest, but he actually talked about the survival of the most adaptable. And like, for instance, the dinosaurs were not very adaptable because they're not here anymore. And what's happening there's my daughter-in-law is a biologist, and they've been tracking bird migration patterns. And they found these birds can't keep up. Their migration patterns are struggling, as well as insects, but she's more into the bird migrations. Can't keep up with the rapid acceleration of the climate right now. Because it's going faster than they can adapt to it. So anything we can do to slow down this acceleration helps them adapt and helps us adapt. And it's also innovations, modern technology that can catch up too. We're doing an amazing job with alternative energy, and yet it's not enough yet. So anything we can do to slow it down to help them come up with this new kinds of energy, new ways of doing things really help. I often think of us as, or the earth as a spaceship, and we are the travelers on this spaceship. And as travelers, just like any place we visit, if we continue to be unruly and obnoxious guests, we might be asked to leave. So we need to return to this gentle, grateful, mindful guest. As the Native American Chief Seattle said, we don't inherit or own the earth, we only borrow it from our children. And I often grieve and am sad about my grandchildren and the planet if things don't turn around or at least slow down the planet they're going to be living on in 50, 60, 70 years. I want to think of even beyond that, about 7 generations from now, and what this life will be. And it really comes down to this gentleness we can be. And indigenous and ancient cultures, including Druids of Northern Europe, have been very connected to the planet. They were judged as primitive, but had come to find out this way of harmony was one that supported continuing sustainable life on this planet. They didn't understand owning land, because how can you own nature? They did not overuse their resources. They didn't understand killing animals for sport. Yes, they grew and killed animals for protection, for food, but they considered a sacred act because they were taking something from nature, and they would always give something back. There was always a return that they did because they believed in this connection. And it's interesting about science because somebody, I don't even know why you would do this, but somebody did this. They hooked up an EKG to a carrot, to a carrot, right? And they thought about cutting it up to eat it. And the EKG started going crazy. It was like going up and down. Didn't touch it, just thought about doing that. So does that mean that a carrot has a soul? No, I'm not saying that. But it is part of the energy of this planet, and something that is a disturbance in the force, as Star Wars would say, is felt. It disturbs the force. Now, the person still cut up the carrot and ate it, but you do it out of sacredness. You honor it because it's sacred life. Anything you eat, anything you do, it is sacred. And we need to remember the consciousness that's in all things. There's a community in Scotland, started about 30 years ago, called Findhorn. And this was in a land that was uninhabitable for plants. It was rainy and windy and harsh, cold conditions. But they decided they want to have a community there, and they wanted to put in a garden, and they consulted with higher spirit, with consciousness, and they ended up growing gardens that were had high yields and gigantic broccoli heads and cabbages and things. And they attributed this to the consciousness they put into this garden, because they were in alignment, in harmony with the life force that is in all life. And we can continue to do that, and to ignore that is disharmonious, to not pay attention to it. As we began to have books that wrote down people's ideas about 600 years ago, people began to record what has always been talked about, that we are connected to all life. But often these people are credited with their ideas because they wrote it down. Rudolf Steiner, who co-founded the Waldorf schools and the Anthroposophy, said that the evolution of the self is a co-evolution of spirituality and nature. Pierre de Chardin, a French Jesuit and paleontologist. First off, you're a Jesuit and a paleontologist. That sounds like you're headed towards being labeled as a heretic, right? He said, this was 500 years ago, collective awareness towards a consciousness of the divinity within every particle of life. And then more recently, in the late 1800s, emerged the engaged spirituality movement, which was part of it was social justice, but also about the gentle care of the earth. So people like Thich Nhat Hanh, the Vietnamese Buddhist, said we need to return to a sense of self which includes the earth. Joanna Macy, who is a Buddhist also, said that there's going to be, we can have a collective shift together, and referred to it as a great turning, about taking humanity into a new consciousness in which the earth is not experienced as separate. And then the Sufi teacher Llewellyn Van Lee, who says that the collective evolutionary expansion towards oneness is bringing us all towards an experience of earth and humanity, of all life, as interdependent. He even talked about spiritual ecology as being redundant, because what is earth sustaining is spiritual, and what is spiritual honors a sacred earth. As I mentioned, there are natural cycles of heating and cooling on this planet, but it's accelerating, it's going faster than we can adapt to it. So in Somalia, centuries of raising livestock have been decimated by years of drought. So they have to they go to refugee camps and are just in physical survival because they don't have any way of sustaining their way of life there that's been done for centuries. The Solomon Islands, the raising seas have made people leave their ancestral homes and relocate. Just last week in Dubai, a place that has an average of 3.5 inches of rain all year got 10 inches of rain in 24 hours. Place that doesn't, nothing drains off there. It's all flat. And we've experienced the fires due to drought, warming, concerns about snowpack in the mountains. And some scientists say it's too late to reverse this completely, and some people vision a Mad Max dystopian type of where resources have been depleted and water has risen, where food system collapses, and we're going to be growing our own food and raising livestock, but on less land to do that. I don't buy into that, because I think we have, as humans, have not only a survival instinct, but a thriving instinct, that we want to do better than just survive. There may be moments like in Somalia where those groups of people are in survival mode, but things will develop. There are new technologies being developed right now. And what we want to develop is a new way, a new earth, to combine this modern science with modern spirituality. It's not a passive path. It requires changes in ours and innovation from science. And we continue to open up to what can be a deeper shift. Remember that Albert Einstein said no problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. So we need to raise our consciousness, and maybe it's not us that comes through that breakthrough of an alternative energy or a new way of doing things, but when we're raising the consciousness, it makes it possible. Innovations have happened throughout history in different parts of the world, things like cars and airplanes that fly and different kinds of innovations, when there was no communication between those cultures before there was internet. This is consciousness, and this kind of consciousness that we raise gives a fertile ground for new technology, new ways of doing things, and our own new ways of doing things. For we, the people, together can move the world onto healthier paths. So this gentle caring of our earth, an inner and outer engagement. What I have is 10 steps that talk about this. And the first one is by far the hardest one. And that's to grieve the losses of the earth, its people, and the life here. I had a friend several years ago. She came back from a trip to Hawaii. And she was so distraught over the coral reefs in Hawaii. And the lessening of life on them, the bleaching of them. And I listened to her and I was sad, but I tell you, I distanced myself because I didn't want to feel it. I didn't know what to do with that. And often our grief, we don't fully feel it because we don't know what to do with it. We don't have a solution. We do not, as humans, like things we don't have solutions for. This month we've been talking about the conscious commitment of commitment of conscious living. As feeling all feelings, feeling them all the way through. And that includes the floods, the fires, the changes in the earth, the changes of different flora and fauna, and the people that are dying or hurt from wars, that we can feel it. Doesn't mean we have to be caught in it. Just the way we have a good friend who's going maybe through a health challenge, or through a personal crisis of some kind. We don't distance ourselves from that ideally because we want to be with that person. And what is amazing about this whole spiritual idea of grief, if that it is not recognized or accepted, it can lead to a generalized anxiety. People even call it an eco-anxiety about the environment, about the ecosystems. And yet, if we are willing to feel it all the way through, Ellen Von Lee talked about that. He says, when we can recognize this grief, when the sorrow is accepted, it can take us deeper within and back to our love for the earth. And the earth needs our love as much as it needs our awareness of its change. And this is true of all things in our life. When we're willing to feel deeply, it opens up love in us. But if not, it's a resistance. So being willing to feel the losses of the earth and of its people here in the community and worldwide. It doesn't mean we have to be caught into it. It doesn't mean we have to get stuck into, get a heaviness about it. The truth is, when we're willing to feel it deeply, then we are letting it go. And then it opens our heart up for more love, for more joy, for more gratitude. And the second thing today is this is Llewellyn Von Lee. So he wrote a book called Cry of the Earth. And that's his work in it. He's a Sufi master and teacher. The next one is to be grounded and observe the beauty. To slow down and be in awe and gratitude for what is. I'm just curious, on the way in, who noticed, or maybe you've been at the center other days this week, the rose that's right outside this. It is just gorgeous. If you didn't see it coming in, make sure you see it going out. There is something beautiful. I don't know, Lori, if you've been fertilizing it or Okay, way to go, Chris. Something's going right there because it is beautiful. It's translucent with the sun hitting it. So, but that's the little thing, you know. Also observe the beauty in other people. And find awe. A friend of mine used to say, if you don't experience awe at least once a day, you're not paying attention. You know, to find the awe, to find things to be grateful for. And the third thing is to practice mindfulness. What pollutes your mind? What toxins are you letting into your mind that you need to recycle and let go of? You know, compost it, recycle it, trash it, just throw it away. Doesn't need to be in your mind. So an awareness of what takes your energy somewhere else away from the moment. Often when I start meetings, we'll start with a check-in and we go, what keeps you from being present here today? And that's a question I often ask myself with anything. What keeps me from being present right now? What keeps my heart from being open? What keeps me from being connected? What distanced me? Like I was using that example of my friend that came back from Hawaii. I distanced because I didn't want to feel that. When I became aware of that, I needed to feel it. It wasn't easy because I lived in Hawaii for a year. I love Hawaii. Many people have visited there. Some people have born there, lived there. So we have a connection to that. So it's a beautiful place. And that's sad. Breathe deeply and let go of the mental clutter. This is similar to the mindfulness, but I want to get to that breath. It's so important. Yesterday, we did that spin a wheel, and the kids spin it, and there's different categories. One was you get to drink fresh water, or you get a bag of compost we were giving out. We were giving out seeds, and one of them also was fresh air. And they're going, and we go, breathe. They go, oh, they know what that. Oh, they expanded their chest really big and they let it go. But sometimes we need to spin the wheel and remind ourselves to breathe and just deeply be present and let go of the clutter, the extra stuff, the worry we have over the silliest things that we're caught up in. Just let that go and be present. And then also there's mindful movement. Now, what is a mindful movement is different for every person, but it's one where you can be present in what you're doing. It's not like you're pushing the exercise. Now, if you need to do that aerobic exercise, that's push, that's fine. And also choose an activity like walking or riding a bike that's more casual, swimming, kayaking. Now, running I put down here, running was never a mindful exercise movement for me. It always felt like work. But I know people who run marathons and stuff, and they get into what they call that second wind, where they're just in their own place and very present. So you have to find what brings you to the present moment, what kind of movement. But if nothing else, walking, getting out among nature is probably the easiest, and you don't need any equipment for that, right? You just step out of your door and start walking. So you probably need shoes on, but other than that, you're good. And mindful commuting, ride a bike, carpool, walk, listen to podcasts, mindful podcasts while you're, so don't just zone out while you're commuting. Let it be a meditative space. I do recommend if you're driving a car, don't close your eyes when you're meditating, but other than that, I think you're good. Take a walk outdoors for a break when you're doing work on a computer or even in your house for whatever reason, or your office. When you need a break, usually you go and maybe do different things, but if you get outdoors, you're going to get more relaxed, more energized, and more coming back to present moment. We can get too caught up in that computer or different things we're doing, so I think that's a great way to do that. And on 8th is to ask your intuitive self what is mine to do and go do it. Find your people and get involved. One of my favorite authors, her name is Lynn Twist, and she's a philanthropist and author of several books. I always quote her out of the book called Soul of Money that I love so much. But she was doing a lot of philanthropy work and a lot of connection with the world, the Hunger Project. When she got an insight about doing more environmental work, so she began to partner with Amazon indigenous people. And what's fascinating, a particular tribe in the Amazon forest was looking for ways to reach out. They wanted to keep their culture, but they were getting intuition to partner with people and educate people, and instead of being so closed up. And they partner with Len Twist, and it's this remarkable Pachamama alliance that developed that is full of education and ecotourism on a sustainable way, so they can keep their culture and preserve the rainforest. And these kind of things is not an example that of just a person who is willing to listen, what is mine to do, and this came up. There's a guy, I can't remember his name, Doug Tompkins. He made a lot of money in the clothing industry, and he bought 10 million acres in Patagonia in South America. 10 million acres, and preserved it so no development will happen there. Right. Yeah, that's a lot of land. He's the most more land for a private individual than anybody. So it's amazing. And what I think about us when we listen, we can't do everything the world needs or the earth needs. But the earth needs everything that you can do. And what you're guided to do. What, Julie, your rings and everything you do, that's just beautiful. It's just your manifestation. Yeah. Because this is what this is what yours to do. Yeah, it's beautiful. I love it. And so we can do that too, and get people together. Not just sit in your corner going, "Oh, I think this might work." Go out and talk to people, give them rings, talk to them like we did on Earth Day yesterday, and make things happen in this way. And ninth is to grow a garden, partner with a farm, or buy produce at the farmer's market, organic produce, sustainably raised meats, so that we find this parallel between this environmental work we do and this inner work we do to eat mindfully, slowly, grow and buy food mindfully. Organic, I love organic farming or produce when I buy it for two reasons. One is it's good, it's less toxic in my body, but also the farmers and laborers who are growing that food aren't exposed to those toxic chemicals. If you've ever been at a place like Monterey where all the strawberry fields are, you could just see that spray of poison being brought out. There are organic strawberries growing too, and if you buy the organic strawberries, then they're going to make more of those farms organic, because that's where the demand is. I know it's not always possible, but we know this truth about ourselves, that we can do what we can because the world needs that which we can. And finally, the last bit is this is regenerative farming and spirituality. There's a connection with that I can go into another time in more detail. But to open our hearts in prayer for the earth. This is that idea that after the grief, or through the grief that opens our heart, we can find prayers for each other, and we can find prayers for the earth. Thich Nhat Hanh says, to worship the earth is to love her, to take care of her, to take refuge in her. He went on to say, real change will only happen when we fall in love with the planet. Only when we've truly fallen back in love with the earth will our actions spring from reverence and insights of our interconnectedness. So here's this idea about reverence and loving this planet that opens up from this conscious connection we have to the planet. Llewellyn Von Lee says, we firmly believe that the earth is not a problem to be solved, but a living being in distress and needs our love and care of attention just like a friend or family member would. So we hold the earth in our heart prayerfully and offering it to the divine, the source of all healing and love. The woman I mentioned last week, Woman Stand Shining. She had this incredible story on one of her podcasts about she was intuitively led to go into a lake nearby, to stand in the lake. I get the impression, she always did have a picture, but about waist high, and she had her drum, and she was drumming her prayers right at the surface of the water. And she could feel this water being infused with her prayers. And there was a sense of a voice of the universe speaking to her about it's good for you to pray in the water. Because when you pray into the water, it intensifies your prayers. This water evaporates and travels through the clouds that can go anywhere. Snow that falls on the Sierras. And the mountains will hear those prayers. And they'll say, oh, my granddaughter, she's praying, she's saying good things, and she's asking for good things, and she's aligning herself with life. I don't know about you, can I just imagine her doing that? Because she is connected to the planet in this way. So we know that water is 70% of the planet, 70% of our body. So when we pray into the water, or just pray with a sense of the earth, that we're wrapping it up in our arms, that it's held within our heart expands to hold that earth. And just know this life is vibrant. Not in worry, not concern. It's an open heart, just feeling that life, affirming that life, and knowing that life is regenerating itself. The planet itself is regenerating. We can feel the life force in it and know the truth of this planet. We can know it for ourselves. We can know it for the planet. We can know it for friends and family, and just know that. If you remember if you were here last week, we took water and we said, we love you, we thank you, we respect you. So what I'd like us to do is imagine a big earth that's just right here in front of us, a living planet. And repeat after me as I say this. Mother Earth, we love you.
Mother Earth, we love you.
Mother Earth, we thank you.
Mother Earth, we thank you.
Mother Earth, we respect you.
Mother Earth, we respect you.
One more time. Mother Earth, we love you.
Mother Earth, we love you.
Mother Earth, we thank you.
Thank you.
Mother Earth, we respect you.
Mother Earth, we respect you.
And as we continue in this prayer for Mother Earth, for our own lives, for our own beingness, we know that Spirit is within us, and we simply invite it to be with us, and we know it is here. We recognize it, for it is always here. With each of us and with us collectively and on this planet where there is one life, only one life. And it is in this oneness we know the truth for our beingness, that right where we are whole, perfect, and fabulous just the way we are. That we don't need fixing, we don't need anything done to us, and in this place we know we are knowing the balance happening within us, and we know Spirit is the balance within this earth that is happening right here and right now. And this we're grateful for, that it is coming, that is spiritually evolving, adapting, creating a new earth, a new life. For it is Spirit doing this in and through us and in and through the earth. And for this we're grateful for. And together we say, and so it is.
You think you own whatever land you land on. The earth is just a dead thing you can claim. But I know every rock and tree and creature has a life, has a spirit, has a name. You think the only people who are people are the people who look and think like you. But if you walk the footsteps of a stranger, you'll learn things you never knew, you never knew. Have you ever heard the wolf cry to the blue corn moon? Or ask the grinning bobcat why he grinned? Can you sing with all the voices of the mountain? Can you paint with all the colors of the wind? Can you paint with all the colors of the wind? Come run the hidden pine trails of the forest. Come taste the sun-sweet berries of the earth. Come roll in all the riches all around you, and for once never wonder what they're worth. The rainstorm and the river are my brothers. The heron and the otter are my friends, and we are all connected to each other in a circle, in a hoop that never ends. How high can the sycamore grow? If you cut it down, then you'll never know. And you'll never hear the wolf cry to the blue corn moon. For whether we are white or copper-skinned, you need to sing with all the voices of the mountain. You need to paint with all the colors of the wind. You can own the earth and still all you'll own is earth until you can paint with all the colors of the wind.
Beautiful. Now's the time in our service we invite you to be part of the circulation of abundance. We know that which you give comes back to you in this perfect circulation of love and life and abundance. If the ushers could come forward, please. There are many ways to give, and we appreciate all those different ways through online donations, texting, checks, and whether you give in the past or giving today or you plan to give in the future, we appreciate those gifts. And just take to your heart with your hand that which you have given or are giving, and repeat with me. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. And so it is.
Won't you sing with me? All good things come to me. All good things come to me. All good things come to me in perfect timing. All good things come to me. All good things come to me. All good things come to me in perfect timing. That's the whole thing. All good things come to me. All good things come to me. All good things come to me in perfect timing. All good things come to me. All good things come to me. All good things come to me in perfect timing.
Thank you so much. I know that all that you give is blessed by Spirit itself. We appreciate your support of our vision and mission. We also want to acknowledge people who might be here for the first time today. We like to acknowledge you and just give you a special gift today. We could bring the spinner back in, but we don't have the spinner. We'll do that. We did that last year. We'll do that some other, close to after Sip and Savor. We'll have it again there. Is anybody here for the first time willing to acknowledge, let us acknowledge you? We also appreciate people who, right here, yes. I looked right past you. We also appreciate anybody who's back with us who's been away for a while or still new to our community. So as we look at the affirmation, we raise our hands to our guest and also anybody who might be online for the first time or the first few times. We bless you as well. And we say, we bless you today knowing that the peace and happiness you seek is also seeking you. We honor your inner radiance as you let your light shine in the world. We are grateful for your presence in our community, and so it is. We don't have any, well, we have some kids. We can invite the kids we have up here. Casper, you want to come up? So nope, we're not coming up today? Okay. We'll bless you in the back. We'll hold one hand this way and one hand this way. Okay? We love you. We care about you. And we're here for you. Okay. Thanks, buddy. Let's all stand for the community affirmation and our closing song. If the practitioners could come forward, please, and stand at the front. We honor our practitioners, and if you want to stay after the service for a brief affirmative prayer, we invite you to do so. And all those who are getting coffee and want to converse, please go out into the courtyard so we can keep this as a sacred place. We thank that. Repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. I am led by Spirit. I am guided by wisdom. I am protected by love. I am here to be a blessing. I am so grateful. And so it is. And now our new closing song.
Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. So let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. So let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. We are making a new world now. We are making a new world now.
So as we go forth, let us make a new world out of this world. Have a great Sunday.
There is one power. There is one presence. There is one life. There is one mind. There is one heart. I call it God. I surrender in this moment and know that all is well. For all is love and peace and joy. It is my life. It is the life of each of us. That we are all open wide and available, doing the work of the Most High. Yes, we are compassion, seeing the face of God wherever we go, doing the work of God, caring and sharing and loving generously, for all is well. So I know in this awareness, we are all blessed as we go about our daily tasks. Work, play, school. All of our activities are blessed, for we bring the truth with us, the truth that all is well. And seeming miracles show up. Spontaneous love blooms. Peace profoundly shows up everywhere we come, for we bring it with us. All is well. And I am grateful. I am thankful. And I allow it to be. And so it is.